What's up, everyone? Welcome back to After the Storm, and welcome back to the NHL 2005 Dynasty Mode Series, episode number 77. Six games remain in the regular season. We have a big matchup here against the LA Kings. Big for them, not really big for us. We are still, of course, trying to make sure that we clear Minnesota for that President's Trophy win. That's the only team that's really giving us any sort of trouble right now. I don't think Montreal actually is still up there too high. Yeah, Montreal's at 103 points as we take a look at the standings here. But it's us in Minnesota. We want to make sure we do have the tiebreaker in wins as it currently stands. We also have a game in hand on the Minnesota Wild. But what we want to make sure of here is that we get the President's Trophy. We want to make sure we have home ice advantage throughout the whole playoffs. But the other big news about this one, not only is the LA Kings in 9th in the Western Conference and really trying to get themselves into the playoff spot, Joe Sakic, the captain, is back from injury again. He's back into the lineup. A huge opportunity for our team. We're really about to get healthy here. Forsberg will be back in a few episodes as well. Hayduk likely to play the season finale. And then we are on to the playoffs. And one little thing I just did, we actually earned enough to put an upgrade onto our medical staff, which is, it's going to reduce our injury times by at least 10 more percent. So now I think we have 2 upgrades, dropping it by 20% each time anybody gets injured. Something I had kind of hoped I'd put on earlier. And also it increases the resistance to injuries. So we want to really make sure that hopefully the game doesn't have some weird glitch thing where like, oh, there's too many players, there's too many good players. Because it seemed like we went through a stretch there where it was like 5 games in a row where we lost players to injury. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. We at least have our medical staff upgraded quite a bit so that if we do get injuries, they're a little bit more manageable. Anyways, previewing this matchup again, as I mentioned earlier, we have the advantage everywhere. We're a much better team than the LA Kings. They're sitting 9th in the conference right now, just on the outside looking in, and they have a big matchup here against us. They desperately need 2 points to keep their playoff hopes alive, and this might be the game where it all falls apart for them. Goaltending matchup, Theodore back in. Cujo is now fatigued after the Ottawa game. Big game from him there, stopped 19-20, a great performance from him. Roman Czechmanek in 85, not a very good goaltender. One last thing before we go, actually we'll do an in-depth preview of LA, and then also we should take a look at the season series between our 2 squads. Taking a look at LA, coming off a bad 5-4 loss to a Columbus team that is way out of the playoffs at this point. Their away record is much better than their home record. I believe they're on the road to face us here in this game, so that does bode well for them. And they have just the one injury. Steven Reinprecht is out of the lineup. Taking a look at the season series, we played them pretty early on, episode number 3 of the series. We beat them 4-2. That was before we were playing. There was another matchup late in December. We beat them 4-3, and that is the last time we played the LA Kings. So we're 2-0-0 on the season so far. We do play them again here. This is the team that we actually double up against, which will be kind of problematic for their playoff hopes. I think if we win both matchups, I think that's probably it for LA. I think there's 6 games left for both of our squads, potentially 5 for LA. I'm not sure how many games they've played, but let's see, 12. They played 76. They got 6 games remaining on their season. If they lose both, I can't see them making playoffs, and we have beat them twice already. They have yet to beat us this season. This is an important stretch for the LA Kings. They got to get 2 points against us big time. So anyways, guys, let's not wait around any longer. Let's get into the game against the LA Kings. The Avalanche back at home as we hit the final games of the regular season. A big playoff implications matchup for the visiting team tonight, the LA Kings. We'll get more in depth with our game tonight. The captain is back. We'll take you to the anthems and then puck drop to follow. Avs and Kings set to go here in Colorado. The Avalanche first in the NHL, just 1 point up on Minnesota, but with a game in hand as they continue to look for the home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. The captain, Joe Sakic, back into the lineup for the Avalanche in this one. Excited to be back. They are getting healthy. After a long time of missing a handful of players, it's great to see. There's Sakic, a chance right away, and a good stop by Czechmanic. Palffy there, bullied off the puck by Rob Blake. Here's Solani, shot on. Solani there. Back to the zone comes Medano, now playing the wing as head coach Joel Quenneville does some line juggling. Experiment with some things, as he said, before the playoffs. Deadmarsh takes a big hit. Allison brought that puck up. Here is Joe Sakic. Burnaby Joe rips a shot. Frolov dumping that one in. This Kings squad on the outside looking in. 2 matchups with the top team in hockey down the stretch here. 2 matchups with this Colorado team. The final 6 games of the season. There's a chance there, but a hooking call coming to Adam Foote. The Kings are going to have an opportunity on the power play earlier on in this first period. Quenneville wants some clarification on the call. Nikolishkin on the faceoff. He wins it. Surprise there. That puck hit the defender. Blake, the former LA King, in his own right. Gill over to Klatt. Nikolishkin drops him. Surrey making sure Frolov can't get through. Frolov fires that off the back of the net, and Solani dumps the puck out. Dempsey back, returning it up ice. Surrey's going to be there. Joseph Stumple. Stumple down low. Maneuvered his way to the net, but couldn't get a great chance off on Theodore. Gill. There was a big hit. Beret and Sakic out on this penalty killing unit. Here's Aussie Vonneman too. Vonneman. Down the ice it goes. Kimo Timonen. Allison making some moves as the playoff intensity of a potential first-round matchup between these two teams is palpable here in Colorado. Lots of physicality. Timonen back. Forechecked there by Medano. Here's Allison. Here's an Allison, can't manage anything. It's flipped back down the ice. Final seconds of the power play for the Kings. They're not going to be able to muster much of anything on this man advantage. Deadmarsh there, bumped out of the box. It's Adam Foote playing over to Solani. Solani is looking for Foote back in front. Policing gets that puck to Straka and over to Sedin. Sedin a shot. One of the most bizarre trades we've seen all year in a season that's been dominated by the trade wire. As Foote gets a chance right in front, is the Vancouver Canucks trading away one of the Sedin twins. Back in front is Sedin again. Klatt gets a rebound, and Theodore is there to make those saves. Guerin. Lindros. Back in front, Foote scores. Adam Foote takes the feed from Eric Lindros in front. Puts it away for his 3rd of the season, and an early 1-0 lead for the Avalanche. The Avalanche strike first midway through this first period. Big goal. Vonneman dumping it in. Hits Nikolishkin with it. Vonneman there. It's third pairing of him and Steve Staios. Camilleri and Frolov. Back in front. Camilleri got that chance away. But it's turned away and by Theodore. Here comes Burry. Dropping back down to the 3rd line. As this Avalanche squad gets healthy, it's going to be interesting to see how a 3rd line that's traditionally a checking line for this Avalanche squad is really going to turn into a 3rd first line for them. Here's Nikolitin in, chance there. He gets hit before he can get it all off, and Nikolitin nearly had a wide open net to deal with. Frolov, Camilleri, back to Frolov, the two young stars here in LA that they hope to build around for years to come. Back and forthing the puck. Here's Jarl Modry. His chance there won't turn into anything. Steos down the ice. As the period comes to an end, Adam Foote's third of the season, the difference maker so far. 1-0 Avalanche into the first intermission. Quiet offensive first period, 6-3 the shots, 1-0 the score. As the Avalanche come out to start the second period. Lindros on the draw. Lindros won it. It's turned over quickly to the Kings, and Foote back there on Gleason. And he managed to keep the shot to the outside, an easy save for Theodore as Lindros rips one onto Czechmanic. Daniel Sedin. Knocked down. Back in front comes Yager. Platt, Gleason, Sedin, and Straka. Back the other way. Straka took a hit. Guerin there. Guerin, sharp angle shot, tried to go 5-hole. Foote, make sure Straka can't bring that one into the Avalanche zone. Back over to Yager. He had a big chance there, and Czechmanic standing tall, making the blocker save. Surrey. Shot into the zone. This physicality really picking up here. As these two teams realize what's on the line, a potential first-round matchup between these two squads. Nikolitin winning the draw around the net. Goes. Timonen retrieves and finds Allison. Ziggy Palffy, though. Shot on. Deadmarsh. Good chance there. Former Avalanche in his own right. Steos around. Nikolitin gets to it first, and a penalty upcoming to the Kings. Ripped off the side of the net was Nikolitin. Turns, fires, and a potential rebound doesn't get anywhere. As Czechmanic grabbed that one. Jarl Modry going to go off for interference. As he upended Pavel Bure driving towards the net. Avalanche power play. Sakic winning the draw. Back in front, Yager can't manage anything there. Sakic another chance in front. Oh, and chances galore. Sakic and Solani. But the puck stays out. Czechmanic has been sharp early in this game, and he's had to be. So his team hasn't generated much of anything at the other end. Dano on the draw. Bure a shot. Surrey still with it. That one's going to come out of the zone. Guerin there. Guerin takes a hit. We'll have to wait. Oh, it's turned over, and Straka the other side. Oh, Surrey, nice play to get back and break that one up. Dano there. Point. Fighting off a check. It's going to come out of the zone as Surrey grabs it and goes back. Surrey finds Dano, who will go into the zone and stop up and try to set up. There it is, back in front. Bure there. And it's a glove save. Just a quick snapshot from Bure. As Czechmanic makes another one look easy. Some discussions between the training staff and the Kings on the bench. Yager a shot. Big rebound given up. Back in front. Solani looking for it. Broken up by Deadmarsh. Yager still with it. Yager for the captain, making his return to the lineup. He's missed extensive time with injury, and there's Yager with a tip from the Rob Blake slap shot. Modry comes out of the box. Power play marker. Nice tip by Yager, really eyeing that one in. Makes it just drop a little bit lower than where the glove is going to be for Czechmanic. It's a big goal here in the second period, opening up the lead 2-0. Avalanche continuing to lead. Connery dumps that one in, but an Avalanche player was ahead of the play. It's offside.
By number 4, Rob Blake, and by number 8, Timu Solani.
Halfway through the second, Yager's 28th of the year. tipped home. Here's Riku Hall. Hall tried to pass it across to Hamilton. Some words being exchanged between the Avalanche players and the Kings. Allison wins that draw against Sakic. Palffy back the other way. Speedy Ziggy Palffy. Here's Medano, speaking of speed. Driving himself up the wing. Back over. Here's Sakic. Turns, fires. Medano, another chance. Can't get the shot away. Finds Solani, and will get saved there by Czechmanic, as again, a classic second period for this Avalanche squad. They have taken the game over. Palffy there. Blake hooks him. No call. Palffy evades the hit from Surrey. A shot on. Theodore bobbled it a little bit, but managed to track it back down. Solani over to Sakic, and it's offside. This LA Kings squad down 2-0, needing 2 points, trying to get themselves into the playoffs, and maybe a first-round matchup with the Avalanche here or the Minnesota Wild, depending on who comes out of this Western Conference. It looks like it's a 2-horse race at this point. Czechmanic searching for win number 30 on the year. Had a decent year, not exactly where he'd like his numbers to be. It's been good enough to get the Kings in the conversation. Foot dumps that one in opposite corner. Lindros is going to get there first. And Guerin down low, but Czechmanic sprawls across. Make sure that one doesn't end up in the back of the net. Third line out. Nikolitin, this newly put together third line. Nikolitin, Cherkowski, and Bure. As Nikolitin throws a hit on Gill, and we're going to have some issues with the glass. Now Gill. Big man headed into it. 4 minutes to go in the second. 2-0 the lead. Yager shot on. Lindros, a rebound there. Guerin throws another one through, and Corvo is going to bring that one off the line. Stumple. Turned over to John Michael Lyles, who leads the NHL in takeaways this season. A great active stick from him. Foot. Stumple there. Big hit. Frolov in the slot. Looking for a chance. Not sure if that one got through. Here's Guerin on the wing. Guerin. Shot scores. Bill Guerin eyeing up the 60-goal plateau. Makes it number 58 on the season. Drilling that one past Czechmanic. He really didn't even react. 3-0 in the final minute of the second period. The Avalanche taking this game over.
Scored by number 13.
On the ice it goes, Czechmanic. The Avalanche are going to salt the second period away. 3-0 the score. Yager tipping home a shot in the period. Guerin adding a late marker. 3-0 as we head to the third period.
Spectacular views of all the on-ice action. Call now for reservations to our...
Something we've seen really in the second half of this season, the Avalanche really taking over a period. The second period traditionally is that period. They took that one over too, as Bonnin struggled to get that puck dumped in. Pass up. That one's going to go for icing as Platt is back to touch it up. We've seen it time and again. The second period is the dominant period for the Avalanche. They come out, they throw a flurry of shots, they manage goals. Here's Sakic, a shot on, good save by Czechmanic. Sakic, the captain, really hunting for a goal in his return. Deadmarsh, a shot, patted away by Theodore. The Avalanche have tended to sag off a little bit in the third when they have a lead. They go to a lot of dump and chase, which isn't out of the realm for a team that's leading 3-0. Yet, they're not a team that sits back too much. So one thing that you can always get in trouble doing. Here's Sakic, getting the shot. Oh, when it gets the grain, it gets Czechmanic, but a great blocker save. 14:39 in the third. LA down 3 goals in the third period here. Yager turning and firing. Camilleri back the other way. Mike Camilleri shot on. Takes a hit from Foot. Andros knocked down by Frolov. Frolov there, turned over to Foot. Yager will just dump this one in. That one comes right out back into the slot, but Dempsey is there to make sure it's not going to cause any trouble. Frolov shot on. Sharp angle, but still forced Theodore to make a good save, and Lindros nearly sprung into the zone. So take a look at Theodore's stats on the season. 14 shutouts, a massive number. Sakic on the draw. Up to Medano. Medano playing wing tonight. Traditionally, he's been on center. As head coach Joe Quenneville has talked about experimenting with the lineup as they approach getting healthy and getting players back. Seeing where everybody fits come playoff time, what they're going to be looking at for a forward core. Potentially 3 first lines full of scoring. This team is loaded, has to be the favorite going into the playoffs. The team that is, as Nico Leashan's tip just manages to trickle over the line. It's 4-0. Steve Steo's shot, tipped by Andre Nicolishan. The Avalanche make sure there's no doubt in this one. 4-0, 9:12 to go. Nicolishan winning that draw. Vonanen dumping it in off the glass. Straka bringing it out. Klatt with the puck. Shot on by Klatt. Easy save for Theodore. Steos. Assist on that Nicolishan goal. Sedin bringing it over to Straka. Straka shot. Blocked by Ossi Vonanen. Back in front. The opportunity there. Vonanen turned over. Steos bringing it back the other way. Gleason back in his own zone to retrieve. Under 5 minutes to go here in the third period. Again, a game that for the LA Kings, they needed 2 points. And they need 2 points almost in every game down the stretch to make sure that they are into this playoff picture. Of course, they are playing this Avalanche team not only here tonight, but in a few nights again. It's going to be a big test for them, where they'll be in terms of the playoff picture. The Phoenix Coyotes have really managed to reinsert themselves into this Western Conference playoff picture as well. They looked like they were out of it for a while, getting themselves right back into the conversation. Final minute now of the third. Deadmarsh bumped off by Blake. Over to Sakic. Sakic makes a move, rips a shot on. Good pad save by Cechmanek. Some other teams, it's a 4-team race for these final 2 playoff spots. 7th and 8th in the Western Conference. Lyles turns and fires that one down the ice. Now we'll go for icing as Corvo is back to retreat. But a interesting race to keep an eye on. The Avalanche have already clinched. Now they're just concerned about the President's Trophy, getting healthy, getting home ice. For the Kings, it's going to be a disappointing result here, and realizing that 4 of their 6 games that are down the stretch, potentially they got to get points in these games that are not against the Avalanche, because they might not be able to. As Klatt takes the shot there. This will be the third of 4 meetings of the season. Avalanche have won all 3 so far, looking for the series sweep next go around. And for Jose Theodore, it'll be shutout number 15 on the season. With himself and Curtis Joseph will likely take home a share of the Jennings Trophy this season. Foot rips a shot off the face-off. Yager Won't do much there. 4-0 in the final. Another victory for the Colorado Avalanche. A tough loss for the Kings in their pursuit of the playoffs. As always, we leave you with the 3 stars of tonight's matchup. And we'll catch you on the next Avalanche broadcast.
Tonight's second star, Colorado number 52, Adam Foote. And tonight's first star for Colorado number 13, Bill Guerin.
So a very one-sided affair in that one. That was the Kings aren't, like I mentioned earlier, they're not a very good team. It's kind of surprising that they're even around the playoffs at this point. But really, they're just not a great team. They got a couple players that are good, but that's nothing. That's the team, I think, given that they play us twice, and given that we really dominated them in especially that meeting and the last one we had against them, I cannot see them making playoffs. But we do have this matchup now against a team that has kind of reinserted their way into the playoffs, the Phoenix Coyotes, which might give a little help to the LA Kings in their pursuit. So taking a look at this matchup, Phoenix in 10th right now, obviously on the outside looking in, 78 points. Goals for, very similar. Goals against, of course, not very similar. Theodore, I think, is going to stay in the net for this game as well. And then we're going to go back to Cujo for at least a couple, and then probably 1-1 to finish off the season, even if Cujo is fatigued as the season comes to a close here. I think we'll play him regardless and just hope, as long as that game does not need to clinch us the President's Trophy, hopefully, fingers crossed. Take a look at our goaltending matchup. Brian Boucher, 83 overall, against Jose Theodore, 99. We definitely have the goaltending advantage. Phoenix coming off a 3-1 win against Vancouver. That's a big win for them in their last game. However, they're very .500. It's very even for their squad at this point. They're a little bit better at home than on the road. They are on the road to face us, however. They're missing a couple players out of their lineup, Mike Johnson and Derek Morris, both coming out of their lineup. So again, they're a weakened team, 10th in the league, or 10th in the Western Conference, I should say. Yeah, they're gonna have a decently difficult time making the playoffs. But again, their savior might be the LA Kings, losing twice to us. But it'll depend on how they do. Taking a look at the Western Conference, we're very much clear of Calgary. Calgary's kind of solidified that they're going to be 5th in the Western Conference for this playoffs. But we still have the game in hand on the Minnesota Wild, but they are within 1 point. So we got to be kind of perfect down the stretch here, at least until Minnesota falters a little bit. But that's when we're going to really see how it goes here. Detroit has now clinched. And if we take a look here, Vancouver sitting in the 8th spot right now. Chicago, Phoenix, LA. Again, it's still a dogfight for these 5-team race for the final 2 spots. So San Jose in that conversation. We play them as well. Play LA one more time. We play St. Louis, who's, I think, pretty much clinched at this point. Don't play Vancouver, I don't believe, but we play Phoenix, San Jose, LA. I think it's just the St. Louis, Phoenix, and then we're all the California teams again. So we play Anaheim in here as well. But Anaheim right now, 81 points. Not sure that they'll get past, or I guess San Jose could pass them for 3rd. So San Jose's got to play us too at the end of the season. So it'll be interesting to see how it all kind of shapes up. But definitely worth keeping an eye on. Taking a look at the Eastern Conference as well. 5 teams have clinched, Buffalo and Ottawa as well. Looks like that'll be a first-round matchup that is set in stone at this point. Looks like Philly has jumped up into that 8th spot. Florida, Atlanta looking like maybe they are in it, maybe they're not. Florida, again, also has the disadvantage of having already played an extra game. So interesting little caveat there. Toronto by no means is safe. The Islanders look like they're kind of safely in the playoffs at this point. But yeah, another situation where probably the last 2 playoff spots are between 4 teams here. So Toronto, Philly, Florida, and Atlanta fighting it out for the final 2 spots. So that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, remember to like, the video, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out considerably. Hope you enjoy the content. Tuesdays, Thursdays are when the episodes upload to the channel. Be sure not to miss them. And as always, catch you guys on the next one.